Man, I'm about to show y'all something serious, bro. You thought you had to look at the big time frame? You thought you had to have like a lot of information before you could see patterns? Psh, man, I'm about to show you something serious, bro.
Have faith in your mind, have faith in your grind, invest in yourself, transform in your time. Have faith in your mind, have faith in your grind, invest in yourself, transform in your time. Trade and get paid, trade and get paid, trade and get paid, trade and get paid, trade and get paid.
What's going on, everybody? It's Joe Giunta with Trend Trading Academy. I'm here to help you trade and get paid. And guys, I got a nice one for you today because a lot of people think you got to see like a lot of information before you can really make a decision in the market. But I'm going to show you how you can really just kind of get in, get out, and see some really powerful stuff, really profitable, really can help you out. So I'm telling you, this one's going to be a good one for you. Man, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Get notifications every time we drop something. Got a lot of major content coming for the rest of this year. I'm about to give you some serious content to close out 21 and open up 22 in strong fashion. All right. You want to become a student? Go to trendtrading.academy. And if you want to get your merch, TGP, get that journal, get your shirts, everything, go to tradeandgetpaid.com and go ahead and get that stuff today. For now, let's get into these charts. All right, guys, so we're looking at GBP AUD, and usually I'm starting at the top, and you know, we've already kind of looked at that. If you watch the Forex forecast videos, you can see them above. Forex forecast, I showed you from the weekly, the 4-hour, and if you're in TTA, you got it even down to the 30-minute and got your breakout entries and stuff. So I already gave you that, but I want to show you something really, really exclusive right now, something powerful, because a lot of people think you need to see like a lot of information in order to be able to find profitable entries, especially when it comes to like chart patterns, head and shoulders, double tops, bottoms, all this kind of stuff. And especially even further when we get into harmonic patterns like ciphers and bats and crabs and Gartleys and things like that. You think you need like a lot of information. Like I need to go and drop 3 indicators on the chart. I need to have this and that, and I need divergence, and I need a trend line, and all of that sounds good, but I got to tell you, major patterns are made up of smaller patterns. So when you look at the fact that big patterns being made up by smaller patterns, you know that if a bigger pattern is being completed, then something that you see maybe happening a little bit smaller might give you precise entry for a scalp. So let me show you what I'm talking about. GBP AUD 15-minute chart, and if you see here, look at what we got going on. All right, you got a lot of movement going on. You got some, you know, kind of under little rounded bottom here. We got some downtrend movement, and even down showing like testing those deep lows right there, right? And now it's showing us another big pattern. But when you look here, I want to show you something that happened that is super powerful. I want to show you this right here, all right? So you come down and everything you see here is a pattern in and of itself. And I want to show you how we can identify this. First of all, when you see that this red candle starts at the end of a pullback. You see structure and everything looks good. Structure, structure, structure. Nice little breakout, very, very good. So you would be expecting on the next one for the same thing to happen, right? If this is going to continue being a downtrend, then we would expect for the next thing to happen again. However, this time I want you to notice that it actually doesn't create a lower low, it creates an even bottom. So very simply done, there's 2 ways you can handle this. We know that the market is in a downtrend. We know that that's happening right now. And really, when we look, it's kind of a pullback on a much larger uptrend. But what we want to see here is, do we have the ability to break out, right? So when we do this, if we were to try to do that again, right? I mean, yeah, you could get it up here, But look at that pullback. You see that pullback right there? That pullback told a lot of story. Because if you look on this side, a pullback to the upside gave you a breakout to the downside. A pullback to the upside gave you a breakout to the downside, right? This time it's pushing up, but a pullback to the downside did not really give you, right? It didn't really give that. It didn't break all the way through like it was another pullback to the upside, breakout to the downside. This time it just kind of tested and stood still. And why is that? I'm going to show you why. Watch this. When you look at this, you see a downtrend that came from this little pullback, an uptrend that gave you a little pin bar that pushed down and gave you an even bottom. Now, this in and of itself, just like this, could be considered, if you kind of stretch it out, let me show you real quick. Down, up, down. We were expecting down, but it didn't happen. So it gave the even bottom, which shows us what? That this area could potentially be a W. So when we see the break of this little neckline and we see this little thing, this little area right here, like I showed you, where it actually does not, give us a breakout, well then look what happens here. You see that? It gives us this up and then it doesn't break, right? So when we see the rejection of that trend line in confluence with a break of a small pattern W, this is an easy entry to the upside. Easy entry. And right here, look, again, we're not talking about no swing trade. We're not talking about getting in and staying in forever. But to catch a quick scalp for 10 or 12 pips is a beautiful thing, right? And how do you know when to get out? You say, well, what if I get in and, look at all this red going the other way? But remember, this trend line gave you everything you needed. So at the confluence area right here of your trend line and your neckline, you have a rejection. That's an easy scalp entry to the upside. And then how do you know when it's over? Well, it's very easy. Number one, once you start, because this is a scalp, once you start to see this reject, this top area, remember, a W does what? We would want it to come down, up, down, break the neckline, and we would trade it to where? We would trade it back to structure. And that's exactly what it did. It went right back to structure. Not only that, but we got the rejection up here, this little wick. And then really, once you saw this red going down, I mean, that's another indicator you have to get out. But you should have been out before that. But that trend line right there gave you pretty much everything you needed to know, because not only did you have a scalp to the upside, but now you have a position to the downside, meaning that this W is over, the trend line is broken, and once that trend line was broken, here's your level back to structure. What used to be a neckline is now a retest entry or a breakout area. Breakout, retest, right? And so once you have that, you already had this area from the neckline. You get the breakout, you get the retest, and here's your entry. Boom. Very, very easy. So just using small information was able to give us a lot of potential movement. Okay? One super solid trade to the upside and another super solid breakout or retest to the downside. And that's how you can use just a couple of price action and market structure tools to give you solid entries where you don't have to wait for the big overall thing to take place. You can just get in and get out. There's nothing wrong with scalping. Get in, get out, get your money. All right, guys, there you have it. I hope this video brought you a lot of value. I showed you how you could scalp both directions, one to the buy, one to the sell, or one bullish entry, one bearish entry, by simply using a small time frame chart pattern that gave us easy price action entries. No indicators, no fibs, no extra tools, just simple market structure and price action that'll give you small scalps up and down all the way throughout the market. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join TTA. Go to trendtrading.academy, become a student, and eat with the rest of us, and get your merch at tradeandgetpaid.com. For now, guys, I'll see you in the next video.